Alright, so for this question, they ask you to find the curl of f. So recall that the curl of f is, we're gonna use matrix here to solve it. So d, or partial of x, partial of y, and then partial of z. And here you have your p, q, and r. So right here you are given p, q, and r here. So your p is sine x minus y. Your q is sine y minus z. Your r is sine z minus x. Now to find the curl, you can just find it's the same method that you find the cross product. So the curl here of f will be, for the I component, will be dr dy minus dq dz. And then you have, I'm using the covering up method. So if you find the I component, you cover up the I. Find a j, I cover the j here. So you get partial of r respect to partial of x minus partial of p respect to partial of z. And then you'll have partial, covering up the k here, partial of q minus respect to x minus partial of p respect to y. Now just follow this formula. Oh, and remember the I component, the y component is always negative in finding cross product. So I'm gonna follow this formula here. So you will have dr partial of r respect to y. So partial of r right here respect to y, you'll get 0. So you have 0 minus partial of q respect to z. So partial of q respect to z, you get cosine of y minus z. And don't forget the chain rule inside. Treat y as a constant, and then negative z will give you a positive. So positive cosine. Next one, you have negative outside. Partial of r respect to x, partial of r respect to x. You will get negative cosine because the chain rule inside. So don't forget the chain rule. Minus partial of p respect to partial of z. So partial of p respect to partial of z gives you 0. So 0. Partial of q minus respect to x. Partial of q respect to x, 0 minus partial of p respect to y. Partial of p respect to y will get cosine x minus y, but don't forget the chain rule inside. Negative y gives you positive. So now this is your answer. So you will get cosine y minus z. The negative and the negative here becomes a positive. So you have cosine z minus x minus 0. So it just be itself. And you have a positive cosine of x minus y. So this is your curl of f.